Holy two we have.
Hey.
You got top 4 today, going X1 with...
Witchcrafter, Dogmatika.
There we go.
Witchcrafter.
I know, I'm used to playing Magistus, so I was about ready to say Magistus.
Yeah, I decided in this format, especially with skill drain running around, that Witchcrafters are the better option, considering that they can put up more interruptions and even kind of play through skill drain, since their effects tribute for cost, and then they can summon from the deck, so they activate off field. So we'll go over like my main deck.
Yeah, let's see your main deck. How many cards is this, by the way?
So this is a 40 card deck. I cut it down. I was trying to do 42, but I wasn't seeing my pieces enough. So I tried to slim it down to what I felt like I was most important, and then 15 card extra deck, 15 card side deck.
Nice.
Even though you don't really need your extra deck, but there is some important elements. So,
also, like and subscribe, right? Before we start?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Click like and subscribe.
There we go.
All right. So
good.
So we got Pot of Extravagance, which because you don't really use your extra deck too much, you have multiples of the important cards. This card's just Monster Reborn in the deck, and so usually that's plus stops, so it makes sense. Now, before I get into, so what the cool thing about this is because the Witchcrafters don't use their extra deck, and you got that extra anti-deck, I do run a small Dogmatika package. It's not very big, but it doesn't need to be. You know, a lot of it is searchable, and when I side out, I can put another punishment if I feel like I need it, but this will just usually help me plus a little bit, especially since it's good as kind of like an ash bait, so if I get Pot and then Nadir, I can usually just open up full combos for Witchcrafters. So I don't like running the whole Schism combo in this deck. It doesn't necessarily need it. This is just here to create 1 or 2 additional interruptions on top of the interruptions my Witchcrafters can do. So I'm really liking this package a lot. This is probably what's making the deck a little bit more powerful and helping me win games. So it definitely helps it a lot. As for my hand traps go, I do run 3 Ash. And then something that's really great in this deck is the Gamma package. Because a lot of the effects activate off field, all the Witchcrafters tribute for cost on the normal summons ones. So the minute they're Ash Blossom, this is better than Called by the Grave, because I'll get this on the field during my turn, and I can even Synchro Summon into Omega and rip a card out of their hand and have just an extra monster, you know, on field when I need it during my next turn. So really great card for that one. Plus, if they do it to any of the cards that are searchable in the Deer Servant, Pot of Extravagance, it's really, really strong for that. And then just to give myself a little bit more protection from hand traps, I do have 2 Crossout Designators and Called by the Grave. Honestly, Crossout has been winning me games with this deck, considering like hand traps are like really, really prevalent. Ash Blossom, you can lose the Ash Blossom in this deck, considering everything you need is searchable.
And everything, their effects are cost, so like you could just get Ash. It's like, oh, they get my hand advantage.
Exactly, so I just lose the game at that point. So the Witchcrafters themselves, you don't really run in a very large like, ratio. This is kind of the ratio as I like it.
Can you say their names? Because like a lot of people will ask, like, oh, what is this card? What is this card?
So this is Witchcrafter Patore. She is basically the one I run as one of, just to have another normal summon in the deck. Her effect is probably like the weakest out of all the Witchcrafters, and I can't activate it if I use Pot of Extravagance. But her effect says banish, draw a card, and then I have to discard a Witchcrafter card. If I don't, I have to banish my entire hand. I wish it was stronger, but right here is your best normal summon, Witchcrafter Shemitah. So she will also, like Patore, summon a Witchcrafter from the deck with discard cost for the spell. And then she can banish herself in order to send any Witchcrafter card, not just spell, but Witchcrafter trap, monsters that Witchcrafter in it, and send it from your deck to the graveyard, so she'll Foolish Burial anything that you need. So fantastic card, best only best one. Your next best is going to be Jenny. The reason why Jenny works really great is that in this deck, all of your spells are once per turns, but if she's in your graveyard, you can banish her and any of your Witchcrafter spells and duplicate the effect again, because she'll copy the effect and it'll be as if she activated it. And if you have multiple spells you discarded, it just makes sense to use it because you can only add 1 Witchcrafter spell from the graveyard to your hand at the end of your turn. But all of these will do the same thing with their first effect, and that's tribute for cost, discard, and summon a Witchcrafter from the deck. So you'll go into your boss monsters next, and this is, I only want 1 of each because you generally speaking only need 1 of each. Start off with Madame Vare. She is the boss monster deck. She is a skill drain on legs, quick effect as well. She also helps protect your other spellcasters if they get like attacked at all. You can reveal all the different spell cards in your hand, gains 1,000 attack and defense till end of turn, so it's a nice fun way to surprise your opponent. Hane, sometimes I try to run her at 2, but because I'm running the Dogmatika package, right now I'm running her at 1. She'll make it so you can't target other spellcasters on the field, not just Witchcrafters, but spellcasters too. And then on top of that, she's a quick effect discard to destroy a face-up card on the field, so she's really great at interruptions. And then Witchcrafter Golem Aruru is a hand trap for spellcasters. If they're targeted by effect or attacked, she can summon from the field and then basically compulse a card from the field to the person's hand, and I can target anything on field, or I can add a spell from the graveyard to hand. So this is a really cool interruption. You know, you think you're going to attack into something, well, I don't have any protection. She can summon from the hand, and then during standby on my opponent's turn, she goes back up to my hand, so I can keep recurring that as a hand trap.
Basically, so I only need one.
Exactly. And then for this Witchcrafter spells, these are my ratios. This is Witchcrafter Holiday. It's the Monster Reborn for the deck. Pretty cool. And then this is Witchcrafter Unveiling. Lets me special summon a Witchcrafter from my hand. And then the other cool thing is, too, is after I resolve this, you can't respond to Witchcrafter effects at all. So, like, if I need to be able to, like, for example, if I use Witchcrafter Various effect to, like, negate something, like Skill Drain, you can't, like, negate it with any of your own effects. You can't, like, impermanent, you can't effect Veilate or anything like that. And then this is Witchcrafter Creation. It's the Rhoda for the deck. They'll search out any Witchcrafters. These two are your best one. That's why you run it at 3. And then there's a couple one-ofs. By Street, this card is what makes Witchcrafters really annoying, because it's once per turn destruction effect for any Witchcrafters. And then if you want to, you can also send it for cost, activate their effects. So if they're going to like destroy this card with an effect, you can actually send this to use it as skill drain, so that way you still have like 2 or 3 Witchcrafter spells in your hand. And then Witchcrafter Draping is one of my personal favorites. I know a lot of decks don't tend to run it, at least on their sideboard, but with back row being such a big important thing, with Eldritch and things like that, this lets you target spells or traps your opponent controls up to the number of Witchcrafters that you have and just bounce it up to their hand. So I like it, and it's searchable, so one of is not a bad thing at all. And then lastly, you run Witchcrafter Patronus. This card's really awesome because any of your Witchcrafters, since you run a small package, when they're banished or in the graveyard, you shuffle them into the deck, and then you get to search for any Witchcrafter spell and add it to your hand. So as long as if your opponent doesn't deal with this and the grind game goes on, you're going to end up with like 5, 6 different Witchcrafter spells in your hand every single turn, despite like the discard effects. And you know, you can keep banishing your Witchcrafters and then putting them back in the deck to keep like normal summoning and special summoning. And if your opponent banishes like Veray or Haim, it's a real good way of getting them back into the deck, because if you lose one of your boss monsters, things get really, really tough.
Nice. So that's the main deck, right?
Yep, that's the main deck. So the extra deck, like I said, you don't necessarily use it, but there is some important factors in here. We'll kind of go over some of like one of like the important tools. So this is Artemis the Magistus Moon Maiden. Like I said before, I like Magistus a lot. This is basically just a way to link away a Witchcrafter from the graveyard if I need them into the graveyard. So if I've already activated their effect and I need their banish effect more importantly, and I've already have a Witchcrafter on the field, this lets me dump them in the graveyard. And then this is kind of my access code talker like package right here. You run Celine. She'll let you summon any spellcaster from the graveyard. Hulk, you'll go Hulk into Celine, and then Celine will let you go into access code talker. And honestly, you don't necessarily need it. If it gets banished from your Pot of Extravagance, it's fine, but it's nice to have when you need it. I sideboard into Instant Fusion occasionally, so I do run right here this package right here, Millennium Restrict and Anima, if I need to. Really don't use it too much. I could probably slot these two out, but it was something I was experimenting for a while to stop hand traps, but I think Gamma is really good for that, And then some links, 2s and 3s, run Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Unicorn. If you need them, they're there for removal. Pretty good stuff. And then because I run Gamma, I like running Omega, and if I can resolve it, Gamma during my turn and use Omega, it honestly is going to let me carry the tempo of the game by ripping a card out of their hand and being able to have 2 to 3 negation and interruptions during my opponent's turn. And then with the Dogmatika package, I run Intist for back row removal using Punishment. Titanclad, the reason why it's at 3, it's probably the most important one. This is the one I don't. These 2 are the ones that I don't want to see off of Pot of Enchantment's banishing. I do want to put this at 3, so when I get a 3rd one, just because they're a little bit harder to find right now, that one is the one I'm going to be having.
Alright, quickly through your side deck.
Yeah, and I realized I think I had one more main deck card, but I'm going to leave that out. Alright, so as far as my side deck stuff here, I have triple tactics talents. Right now I just have 1, but it's,
okay.
Yeah, so I just need to get a few more, but it's nice to have if I need it, if my opponent's going to have a lot of interruptions during my turn. Harpy's Feather Duster, Forbidden Chalice because, diet forbidden droplets. An extra punishment in case I need it in the deck. This card right here is fantastic, Dark Ruler No More. Even if I draw 2 of these, like when I'm sideboarding, it's not terrible considering it's just another spell card to have in my hand for like the Witchcrafter effects. Cosmic Cyclone, really good back row removal. And then these 2 are just 2 ofs right now until I find something better. Token Collector and Nibiru. So these right here are, summon a lot. This is for the Sword Soul matchup, considering right now local Sword Soul is pretty prevalent. And have yet to resolve it, but I used a lot of effects to pop the token, so that way it could stop special summoning other monsters using the synchro summon to interrupt them.
Nice. Well, thank you, Ollie. Congratulations on your top tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Hopefully, we get to see you more in your Witchcrafter. Oh god, I already
Witchcrafter.
God, yes, Witchcrafter Dogmatika. Sorry, I keep getting. I'll be honest, it's the Magician's thing is just stuck in my head.
I know. I
right.
want to top with that. It's just not good right now.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right, man. Thank you.